Hey everyone, welcome back into the Shoujo-Verse. I'm your host today, Sho-chan, and with me I have Azayan, and we're going to be talking about Fruits Basket episodes 5 and 6. So, let's get right into it.
Take two.
Yes, take two. We went through an hour of this and it's terrible. I hate how sometimes technology just fails on us and it just happens and we just have to deal with it. But man, we had a really good recording that first take.
Yeah, we had a great episode, and then I discovered that none of it were recorded on my end.
It's okay, dude. It happens, dude. It could have been easily my recording as well. We vibing. We get this. We'll figure it out. We're good.
So excuse us if we don't have or at least me, if we don't have the energy we should have.
Yeah, myself included. Oh my god. So, yeah, let's get.
Nah, you're always energetic.
Oh my god, please. Let's get into it then.
Okay, episode 5.
Yes, the Momiji episode, the prime episode for him. So I feel like we can just start. I mean, we can always go sequentially, but I just want to comment about Momiji's glow up. Azayan, what were your thoughts about it?
I don't know. So in the opening, when you see Momiji, like his eyes are drawn much smaller and more narrow, and then when you see him here, he's still got like those big, cute, round eyes, and I was just like, oh, okay. I was kind of expecting him to look a little bit more. You know, he just kind of looks taller. He doesn't look that much older. He just looks taller. And then his voice is a little deeper, but he's still like, and then he's like still really cutesy, and I don't know how to feel about it. Maybe it'll grow on me, but it was a little weird for me.
Oh yeah, I get that. For me, he looked like a prince, and I'm all about that. But he's such a kid inside, and I love it still. I'm all for his kindness and everything about him. So I'm just like, I get how weird it is, and not gonna lie, the vocal range of the voice actor, I was impressed actually. It's the same voice actor too, and I'm just like, whoa, oh my god, I wouldn't even have realized you're the same voice actor because you really made Momiji hit puberty with voice acting.
Yeah, and you were saying he looked like Tamaki from Oran, right?
Yeah, Tamaki from Oran High School
like
was in inside of Honey Senpai. Yeah.
Like Honey and Tamaki blended together.
Yes, pure shoujo prince, and this episode really revolved around him, but we can come back to starting from the beginning, I guess, with the several Zodiac members and all of their moments of like dealing with the curse and how to tell their loved ones about it. Ooh, that scene with Yuki and Machi, Ayame, and the maid, I forgot her name to be honest every time.
Yeah, the maid girl. Something with an M, I think.
Yeah.
But like Yuki was like straight up about to tell Machi his secret. Like they really advanced quite far.
Mm-hmm.
In their relationship for him to be already ready to tell her that. It was so cute how she like went and hid in the curtain all blushy afterward too when they got interrupted.
Gosh. Yeah. Haji. Yeah. She was super cute in that moment. I'm just like, oh my god. And Yuki, his eyes, I know everybody hated the scene, but I actually loved how princely he looked, sort of. Like I don't know, I am literally, like, yeah, I am older, but I will still, like, show me a prince-looking shoujo male lead, and I will still be, like, head over heels. So, like, with Yuki, I just love that moment where he kind of had these, like, kind of dreamy eyes-ish, and I know everybody was like, oh, this is super embarrassing, oh, so cringy, and I'm like, nah, I love it for him.
How dare they?
I
wasn't cringy.
Dude, don't go on Fruits Basket Twitter. That's a recommendation. Just don't. Yeah.
I definitely won't. Not if they're calling my boy cringy.
Yeah, I know. Yuki deserves everything.
How dare they? So Momiji had his glow up, and then a few of the Zodiac members confronted their loved ones about the curse. Akito as being an overdramatic, self-pitying blob, as usual. Nothing new there. Hiro, there's a scene with Hiro and Kisa coming into Shigure's house, and they run into Kyo. And I think Hiro is trying to act like an adult by not, he's trying not to be his little brat self. But he's still just coming off as arrogant. He's like trying to stop, just as Kyo says, like, are you just, what's with this, like, I'll be the bigger person and let you win attitude?
Yep.
But you know what? Like, that's a testament to how Kyo is, like, grown up, too, because he doesn't, like, snap at Hiro for giving him attitude. Like, he's just, like, he's just kind of, like, zoned out about it. And then Shigure and Hattori discuss kindness, air quotes. And Hattori's like, hey, you should treat Akito better. Like, she's going through a lot. And Shigure's like, nope. She gonna get what she deserves.
Yeah. Yeah, Shigure is just, of course, our favorite problematic, manipulative character who just happens to also look the way he does. And it's just like, so many people who are...
I wonder, how would things be different if he, like, pampered Akito? If he was, like, really affectionate towards her and they had a functional relationship? Like, I guess that's not possible because they're just not functional people, but, like, I wonder how different everything would be if he could stop being so jealous and, like, giving into his jealousy with the way that Akito is, like, clinging to Kurano and the other Zodiac members. I almost wonder if, like, I almost wonder if, like, Shigure is doing all of this for her. Like, all of this just to free her. But
yeah,
he did try and help Hattori and the teacher, like, get together. So he cares about things outside of Akito.
That's true. Shigure is such an ambiguous character. I don't know, man. I'm like, are you really that crappy of a person, or are you just acting like it? And it's like, I would love to. I just think it would be perfect, but it wouldn't happen. I'm pretty sure this won't happen. I just want to see a moment where he actually breaks, honestly. Like, where he's the one who's, like, having a meltdown. Or, you know, like, because we see Akito going through all that, but Shigure, he's just this hardcore, really aggressive person.
He's always, like, he pretty much never loses his cool, but, you know, he kind of did with Akito, like, when they wound up sleeping together again. He kind of lost his cool. And when he was talking on the phone with Kurano, and he was like, you know, I kind of figured that you'd broken your curse. Now you've just confirmed it. Like, he was kind of losing his cool there, too. So, but yeah, like, you're right. It would be really interesting to see him just, like, all out, like, lose it emotionally. Like, break down crying or be hopping mad, like, screaming and stuff, instead of just being his, like, low-key or, like, self.
Yep, he's like one of those people who will say the meanest thing. And he doesn't need to get mad. He doesn't need to have a breakdown, but you will hate him so much for the things he says still. And he will still darken and everything. It's just like, oh my gosh, dude, like, I don't know.
Yeah, like in episode 6 where he's, like, the biggest asshole ever, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So then, let's see. Oh, okay, so then we have the moment with Akito and Momiji. So Momiji's just like, yo, my curse is broken. And I don't want to have anything to do with you anymore, Akito. Shuts door in face. Oh, I love that moment. That was so good.
No.
I just wanted him to, like, open the door again and be like, nope, no, I'm still shutting in your face. And, like, shut it in her face, like, 5 more times.
The abridged series for Fruits Basket. That's how they would abridge it. I love it. No, yeah, I think that moment was funny, but then on top of it, like, that whole, like, that deep scene where he actually says to Akito that he's no longer a prison to his past in many ways, that he is no longer going to keep chasing this happiness that he cannot get back, like, i.e. his family, who's forgotten him due to this whole curse. And it's just like, yo, Momiji, I really hope you find happiness. I hope you deserve, like, the world for you. You are so mature, and I love it for him. And I'm like, yeah, I hope the best for him, because that moment, I was just like, man, Momiji, your character development literally the peak is here. And I'm just like, yeah, what an underrated character.
Yeah, he is definitely the most mature character in my opinion. Like, he may outwardly like be cutesy and into childish things, but inwardly, like, I think he's more mature than any of the other Zodiac members. Like, they've all had their share of pain, but I think he has dealt with it the best. And he just, continues to try and put on a happy face. And I consider him to be the uniter. Like, he tries to bring everyone together.
Yeah.
And tries to, like, he doesn't let anyone get left out. He's always what, I don't remember which of these 2 episodes it was in, but someone was like, "Where's Kyo?" And they were like, "Oh, I think he's up in his room." And when we just like, "I'll go get him," like, he wants everyone to be together. He doesn't want anyone to get left behind because he himself has gotten left behind.
Yeah, and I remember him even saying, now that you brought that point up, oh my gosh, I just clearly remember him talking about how, for himself, how the curse breaking is also a little bit of a sign of sadness for him, because he's like, I thought, like, this was a curse that did connect everybody, though, unconditionally. Now his curse is broken, and like the family he had with this other Somas now is like, now it's going to change a bit what that would look like for his life, but he's still willing to move forward and have faith that there will be something better for him. It will work out for him, and I'm just like, Momiji, the gains he's making is everything here.
I know. I'm so proud of him. Like, he's been in that situation with even if it wasn't comfortable, and if there were a lot of like unpleasant things about being a Zodiac member and about having the bond, like, that's how he's been all his life. That's all he's known. So I can see why it would be kind of sad for him to leave that, even though there wasn't much good about it. But, then he ends the episode talking to his mother, who doesn't remember that she's his mother. She just thinks he's like a neighborhood boy. And he ends with saying, like, basically telling himself, like, eventually I'm going to be a part of this family again. Like, I'm going to tell my mother who I am. And I think he plans to, like, take his place in the family again.
I'm hoping for the best for him. And, just to further on talk about, like, his strength as a character, with that sudden, like, his curse has broke, and he has feelings for Tohru, which I know fell out of the blue. Like, Azayan and we're talking about in the first recording, definitely fell out of the blue. But, like, he had those feelings, but then was just like, but he saw Kyo and Tohru and was like, I can't interfere with that. And it's just like, I don't know, he was very mature about that.
We didn't talk about that in this second recording. Yeah, both of us, like, agreed that we didn't know that Momiji had feelings for Tohru before this episode, when he just outright said it. Like, I didn't really feel like he did. I guess he was just hiding them, or like, he was like, I'm too small to be a love interest for Tohru. Now I am tall, and I can be man. Now I can get her attention. I guess I don't mind it too much. I think, like, it's really mature of him to just know, like, instantly know it's not going to happen. Even though I'm taller now, even though I look more like an adult, like, I know how she feels. I can see how she feels about Kyo. So I'm just going to give Kyo a push because he wants them to be happy, even though it means him not being happy.
Momiji and the sacrifices he's making, I hope he gets something better from all this too towards the end. He's already gotten a lot, actually. I'm happy for him so far, but oh my god, if I wanted another series, I would want one for Momiji.
Yeah. Hiro and Kisa, I would totally want that to be a spin-off. And then I would love a spin-off series on Momiji. Honestly, she should just make one for, like, every pairing of the Zodiac. Like, Hatsuharu and Rin could get their own. I don't know what that would be about. It would probably be, like, rated R. There'd be a lot of sex.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I would totally watch one about Hiro and Kisa and one about Momiji. I was just gonna say, maybe they do address that in the Fruits Basket is it Fruits Basket another? I don't know if that's
Yeah.
entirely a whole new set of characters.
Let me check that out. I think it is the same set of characters. Well, actually, never mind. Nope, it's not.
Oh.
It's completely different. It's actually wow, okay. This is an original story with it has its own characters in it. I wonder, did this finish too? Oh, it did finish. Okay, yeah. Interesting.
I feel like I don't think I'm gonna read it, but
Yeah. I am most likely not gonna read it as well. But that's okay. I love the characters in Fruits Basket. I love Fruits Basket. That's enough for me.
anyway, episode 6.
Yes, episode 6. Let's get into it. The Kyotoru moments in this episode. This was their episode with the sunsets and everything. Yes. So let's get into that. But yeah. First of all, we get to see all of them together at Shisho's house, and we see that Rin's doing better, and then we have this whole, like, Shigure, Ren, Toru confrontation scene, and Shigure being a jerk again.
Yeah, so well, first it starts out with Shigure and Rin, and
Yeah.
Shigure is like, yo, Ren was lying. She wasn't gonna tell you how to break the curse. She doesn't know. And then, of course, he does that like a true asshole. No gentleness, no tact, just you're dumb. She wasn't gonna tell you. And then Toru shows up, and well, you know what? I take that back because Shigure does try and reassure Rin that the curse is breaking. He does actually try and offer her some reassurance. But then Toru shows up and she's like, "Yo, it's not breaking fast enough for Kyo. He's gonna be in prison soon."
Mm-hmm.
Does she know that? She knows that, right? She knows. Yeah, she knows.
Yeah.
And Shigure's like, "Well, Kurono's curse is already broken." And then he turns into an asshole and he's like, "By the way, we're happy that Kyo is the one who gets to be in prison because that means it's not us." And like, you see
the cat's a gift to us.
Poor Toru with her empty eyes.
Toru and her sad eyes, and I'm just like, oh no. Like, I think it was in that moment where she realized furthermore, like, the position which Kyo is in, and just like...
If she didn't know already, like, I think she confirmed to herself how important Kyo is to her.
Mm-hmm.
Before we move on to that, I just want to say, I think that Shigure is acting like a jerk in that situation to try and push Toru, to try and get her to do even more than she's already doing, to hurry her up, to help break the curse. Like, I think that's why he's being a jerk about it. I don't accept that. I don't excuse that. Sorry, Shigure fans. I think, yeah, that's why he's doing it, but I don't excuse that behavior.
Yeah. To everybody who's a Shigure fan, I really hope you find someone that isn't going to have their intentions as muddy as Shigure. Because, yo, that's unhealthy what Shigure is. I don't know. Shigure does not hesitate to be a jerk, and I don't know how I feel about that, because I'm like, well, the impact of whatever, even if you have positive intentions, the impact is what people receive, and that impact is not pleasant.
Yeah, the way he goes about things, I guess it gets results, but he didn't have to go about it that way. He didn't have to go about it that way.
Is that what we talk about, like, with relation to, like, really strict parenting? At least they get results.
Oh my god, that's such a true comparison. Like being really strict on your kids. Like, yeah, I guess it gets results, but it still messes them up.
Yeah, I mean, anyways.
I don't hate Shigure, but not gonna call myself a fan.
Yeah, I am not a fan of Shigure either, but I guess he's interesting. I hope we get more. I really hope I get to see him actually, show an ounce of compassion. I feel like Toru's this pure person, and he's reminded of a little bit of that when he sees Toru. But like Toru's so pure and everything, and Shigure is like this, you don't know what he wants, you don't know what his intentions are, and it's just kind of mysterious and manipulative, and I'm just like, bro, can I have an emotional scene for you for once, to see you actually, like, instead of Akito being the one breaking down, can I see you break down actually, can I? Because, I don't know, he must be mentally so, I don't know what it is up with him, but he is not that type of person to show his emotions, like he is not vulnerable, and I'm just like,
No.
I
No,
want to see that from him.
That's exactly right, is he never lets himself be vulnerable.
Yep.
And if he just would, maybe Akito wouldn't have the wrong idea about him.
Oh, yeah. And maybe, instead of going to with her mom, he could have resolved this like a healthy adult. But hey, we're in Fruits Basket. Are many of these characters fully healthy? Not yet.
Healthy.
I hope they will.
Healthy adult? What's that?
That's not Fruits Basket. I mean, all the adults are jerks to these kids, and then they grow up like feeling like crap. Like, I mean, we'll get into it right now. Tohru, her situation with her father, dude. That's so many people around her saying that. Oh, you don't look like Tohru. You don't look like your dad, and just like that's sort of what adults said to her, and adults say to Kyo. Like for Kyo, it was like, oh, you're the one who made your mom die, basically. Like that sort of. Both of them not being accepted fully for who they are, and like being told by the adults about that. I was just like, yo, that's messed up now. And the adults are the main problem of this show, really.
Yeah, I can't even tell you how many times I just rolled my eyes as you were summing that up.
Yep. Fruits Basket would be much shorter. Again, like I said in the first recording, Fruits Basket would be much shorter if there weren't that many crappy adults.
It wouldn't exist. It would just be like this slice of life about a family that occasionally turns into animals, and it would be like the fun hijinks they get up to.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe Momiji would get his happiness in that one too.
I want to see that though.
Yeah, I know.
Could we do like a Fruits Basket like PG mode or something? Like,
oh my gosh.
Let's do a revised edition where they're like nothing goes wrong for anyone.
Everybody's happy. It's wholesome. Momiji's happy.
Nobody gets pushed off a balcony.
Yeah. I mean, nobody gets, I don't know, slammed through many of the doors. Nobody punches the wall as hard as Kagura.
Nobody sleeps with their lover's mother to get back at them.
Yeah. Shigure is such a problematic character. But anyways, back to our lovely Tohru and Kyo ship. So, yeah, I mean, one of the things that Azayan and I were reflecting on earlier in the first recording was just like Toru's grief for her mother. I think that's like, and we see this after she was with Shigure and then was walking outside, and she's like reflecting upon how she was worried of losing her mother by putting Kyo as the most important person in her life. And
yeah,
I'm sorry for her. That's hard, dealing with grief. Yeah, and I think what I love about Fruits Basket is that it really gets at these emotions very well. Like, I don't know, I haven't dealt with grief yet, and I really don't know how that will happen for me. But I've seen people with grief, and it just was like very similar, that you worry so much of forgetting that person for one moment because that's when you know they're really gone.
Yeah,
so
I haven't dealt with grief either, but it does seem very natural to be afraid that, like, if you don't keep the memory alive of the person who passed away, like if you don't keep visiting their grave, if you don't keep like thinking of them and clinging on to them, like there's survivor's guilt, like there's this fear that they just cease to exist, like almost like they were never there if you move on from them, and like you're not allowed to because it would mean like you didn't really love them or something. So there's definitely a lot of that going on for Tohru, and she's just so afraid to allow Kyo to be the most important thing to her in place of her mother. She feels so guilty, and then we learn she reveals to Kyo, which pretty sure she's never revealed to anyone else, not even Hanajima or Utani, her feelings about her father, that she was jealous of how much her mother loved her father and then missed her father after he died. she was afraid that like her mom was gonna leave her, or at least in my opinion, maybe even like kill herself. So she was like, well, let me just become my father to comfort you, mom, to like, let me take his place so that you won't leave me, so that you'll still be happy. So she like tries to copy his way of speaking, even though they don't look anything alike. She like tries to take his place by like taking care of her and stuff.
I hope we find out more in the next episode, because I know Kyoko even picked up on it. She wasn't stupid to it. She wasn't blind. Like, she noticed that Tohru was acting a lot like her father, and I wonder if she ever thought to herself, like, how her grief may have also been a cause of that.
Yeah, I was kind of mad at Kyoko for saying, like, I think there was a flashback where she was talking to Kyo or someone,
mm-hmm.
and she was like, oh, it helped that she did that. And it was like, you don't rely on your little child to help you get through your grief. That is not Toru's job. You should be the one being strong for her. Instead of, like, knowing how she was suffering and then just being like, oh, well, your suffering is helpful to me.
Yep. I agree. I feel like Kyoko, I hope we find out more about her in the next episode, because honestly this whole situation felt sus. Like, I'm like, especially because in the first episode, the first 2 seasons, I personally like Kyoko a lot. And now I'm like starting to see some of this, and I'm like, well, I'm glad she's getting more complexity, but I really hope she was the loving mom that Toru remembered. You know?
Yeah. Toru is like, I feel like her number one emotion is guilt. Like, she feels guilt in like every situation so easily, and I really relate to that. Sadly. She feels so guilty about everything. Like, from the very beginning, we discover that she felt guilty about not saying "be careful" to her mom on the last day that she saw her. Like, she just thinks everything is her fault, and she like really pours this out to Kyo, and he's just like, it's okay to feel that way, just let it all out. Like, it's okay to be confused, it's okay to feel jealous about your dad, it's okay to, be afraid of letting your mom go. And then they hug through a sheet, and I was very happy about that.
Yeah. The laundry sheet, I love it. I felt like there's something, I know this is I feel like I'm such a cheesy person in general, and most of the people who are listening and the other speakers have a little bit more, I would argue, realistic sense of shoujo. But I feel like the thing I love about Kyo and Toru, especially in that moment, was just like Toru opening up about something so deeply personal to herself, and like, she didn't tell that to anybody else except for Kyo.
Yeah.
And then Kyo kind of being like, yeah, it's okay, let it out. And I'm just like, aw. I don't know, that's so pure. And I think that's really special that they share that kind of connection.
Yeah. I think it goes beyond trust, too. Like, because Toru fully trusts, like, Utani and Hanajima. I think more so than trust, like, the reason why she revealed this to him is because she desperately wants to resolve these feelings. Like, she's getting to the point where she's ready to deal with these feelings, but she needs, a support. She needs help. And like, Kyo has really been the one who lets her address these feelings, who pushes her to address these feelings.
Yep.
I don't know how to, I don't know what the word is, but it goes beyond trust.
Yeah. I hear you on that one. So the Kyo and Toru train, the ship is the train/ship. It's sailing, and it better keep sailing. And I love them so much.
Yeah, well, there's definitely advancement. I mean, she's the one who initiated that hug through the sheet. Like, that was, yeah. I don't know if I'm recalling correctly, but I don't really remember her ever initiating a hug with anyone.
No.
You know what? That's not true. With female characters, I'm pretty sure she has. But not with male characters. I guess because they would turn into an animal if she did. Yeah. But yeah, she definitely just, like, let go and was like, oh, I'm gonna hug him because that's what I want to do in this moment. And she didn't like stop and ask if it was okay. She's like, this is what I want. She just had like a slightly selfish little moment where she just hugged him because she wanted to, which she like never does.
And again, the sunset in the background while they were doing that, and I'm just like, oh, the tears falling, and I'm just like, this is beautiful. This is art. I love it. We also see a little bit later on the change in tone by the end of the episode. That was sudden and something else, and I hope we find out what happens, because we see all of a sudden, like, you know, Tohru takes Kyo to her room and is like, yo, like, this is my father, and shows a picture of him and everything, and then shows a picture of her mom again, and then Kyo is like, oh my gosh, I remember, and then Tohru also has this weird, like, realization about something, and then all of a sudden we see, like, Kyoko in her body and her in blood, and she's like, I'll never forgive you, and we're like, wait, what?
Yeah, that was really confusing. I have no idea what's going on there.
They really left us like that, so I wonder how are they gonna pick up on this for the next episode? It's like, and every time the next episode starts, it's like, and so, Tohru and the gang, they just resolved it.
No, I hope not. I hope that's where they start at the next episode. So we'd know what the heck was going on there. Like, I was kind of like, how dare you end the episode on this negative note when they had like a breakthrough. Like, she was literally about to admit her feelings for him. And then for some reason, like, this creepy vision of her mom shows up. I was like, stop it, Kyoko. Stop impeding their romance.
Yeah, I hope that gets resolved. And I just, oh yeah, wait, you had such a cool theory. Sorry, I'm like just remembering. I'm sorry. Flashback moment to the first take. I remember we had a theory about what would it take for Kyo to have his curse broken.
Oh yeah, I get the feeling that we were saying we both kind of came to it together that it was like almost like a Princess and the Frog type of thing for him to be able to break the curse, like the princess Tohru, or Shrek.
It's about how you see it.
Yes, like the princess would have to like completely set aside like being grossed out by the frog or like being grossed out by Kyo's monster form. She just have to completely set aside like all the physical features about him that would be unappealing, and like just see him for who he is and love him for who he is, and then that will be the thing that will break the curse. So in this instance, like, she also, I think, will have to completely set aside her mom, and that will be like the key to breaking the curse, because I don't think Kyo can really do it on his own, unlike the other Zodiac members who seem like they're kind of with their own momentum are able to break the curse. Like, they definitely all got pushed by Tohru, and now they're kind of on their own. Like, I feel like they don't really need any more from Tohru to be able to break their curse. They're just on their paths to it. But in the case of the cat, I feel like it will require someone to love him without reserve. Like, just completely, wholly love him more than anything. And that'll be what breaks the curse.
Yeah, and I mean, we kind of also talked about this before, how for Kyo, he's kind of resigned to his fate. So hopefully with Tohru sharing how she feels for him, that will be the catalyst for him to actually, reject the curse and to fight against it.
Yeah, for him, he doesn't have the will right now to fight against his fate. He's just kind of accepted it. And he's, like, trying to be with Tohru as much as he can, knowing how he feels about her. Like, he's just trying to be there for her while he still can, but...
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's like, right now, he kind of thinks that, it's one-sided, and that he doesn't want to trick himself into believing it's something more. And I'm like, no, like, it's two ways. Both of you guys need to talk. And that's literally every shoujo. See it happening both ways, and you're just like, come on, just talk it out, just say it, please. That was like Kimi Todoke. Oh my god.
Oh my god, yes, that took forever.
It
was so satisfying when it actually happened.
Yes, it was, I don't know, was it worth it? I think it was worth it, though. It was powerful.
I wonder what it will take for Kyo to...
admit.
to believe that she really does love him.
Yeah, that's such a good point you just brought up. I feel like for people like Kyo, it's hard for them to see that even exists for them when they've been hated for their whole lives.
I mean, he was able to accept that Shisho loves him.
Yeah, that took a long time because like even in season 1 or 2, when we meet Shisho, he's like, oh, like I think of him as a father, but I don't know if he's okay with that, and oh, like, you know, I'm a little bit bashful about all this, and I'm like, Kyo, that's you. Oh my god, you and Shisho, like, come on, Shisho is your father, and he loves you too. Oh my god, so, but he was bashful about it even then, and was kind of like worried to admit that even. So I'm like, and that, how old was he in that season? I don't know, like way older too, like. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, I hope this happens. You know, that's true. It's gonna be hard for Kyo at first to even think that Tohru cares for him. But I hope it's not gonna be as long as the many years that it took him to really be okay with him loving Shisho as a father, and to understand that Shisho similarly feels like he's his son.
Yeah. Well, we've only got 6 episodes left, so 6 or 7.
Gotta
maybe.
speed run it.
Yeah, so within that time, he's gonna have to accept it.
That was a good point that you brought up, though. I didn't think about that, but that's so true. Like Kyo, how much he has struggled. That's going to affect a little bit of this too.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm eagerly awaiting the next episodes.
Yes, I can't wait to watch the next episode, really, to see what resolves from Kyoko. But yeah, I can't wait. I think that this season, I know people are giving crap on it on Twitter, and honestly, y'all should be thankful for even getting a full adaptation. That in itself is a huge blessing. Come on,
calm down, Twitter.
Calm down, y'all, because we did not get one for all these other shoujo anime, and we're getting it for Fruits Basket, and it's actually not bad. Like, yes, it may be different from the manga a little bit here and there, but let's not compare it to the Promised Neverland now, okay? Let's not drop it down that low, okay? Yeah, like, let's actually appreciate what we got here. And I think that I, as an anime only fan, can say that I love what we have here. So
yeah, they're doing a great job.
Mm-hmm.
So join us in 2 weeks for episodes 7 and 8.
Yeah, keep up with Fruits Basket, and if you have any sort of comments about our thoughts too, feel free to let us know, and we'd be happy to respond to them, maybe even in the upcoming reactions.
Yeah, so we'll have our social media at the end. Definitely reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. We love you. Hopefully you love us too.
Please love us. Please love us listening and talking about Fruits Basket.
Join us in our obsession with shoujo.
Yes, please. Cool. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys later. Now that's a wrap, so we're out of the Shoujoverse.
Bye. Aza here. Thanks for listening to today's episode of Into the Shoujoverse. Check out our social media. We're on Twitter at the Shoujoverse, YouTube and Instagram at Shoujoverse, and TikTok at Into the Shoujoverse. Thank you so much.